Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. Looks like we're going to see some fairly quiet weather for today. A few showers maybe tomorrow, and then the weekend looks like it's going to be pretty quiet as well. We're going to give you a complete 7-day forecast a little bit later on. Every morning we try to join you here at 10 o'clock. We'll do about a 10 to 15 minute kind of weather briefing, just kind of look over things and see what's going on. A little bit more of an expanded weather briefing than the 2.5 minutes that you typically get in a newscast. So gives you a little bit better chance to look at things and see what's going on. Also want this to be a little bit interactive. You can actually text me and ask questions if you want to. I'll take a look at those questions a little bit later on towards the end of this briefing or stream if you want to. Call the Weather Impact, don't call, but text the Weather Impact phone line 409-749-9302, and you can text me. Can't call, I think they disabled the call on the phone anyway, so text 409-749-9302 and ask me a question. Maybe you got some plans this weekend or something like that, and you're trying to make decisions on whether to do it outside, maybe bring it inside or whatever. Let me know. I'll give you an idea of what you can expect weather-wise. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the day forecast. A lot of folks joining us just to know what the weather's going to do the rest of the day. Here's a real quick look at that. And there's a slight chance of maybe a shower popping up through the rest of this afternoon into the early evening, but we're going to go 20%. So most of us won't see any rain today, which is great. After the last couple of days, we've had all that heavy rain and even some strong winds. A lot of folks got their power back. There's actually, I think, a handful left that still don't have power out there, unfortunately. I hope you guys get your power back fairly quickly for today. As you can see, we're going to be in the middle 80s, maybe even a few upper 80s for later on this afternoon. As warm as about 88. Then we'll drop it back down into about 84 by 6 o'clock. And by 10 o'clock, we're looking at numbers in the middle 70s. Looks like lows tonight also will stay into the 70s with mostly cloudy skies. But a lot better forecast today than we've seen over the last couple of days, especially with all the heavy rainfall that we had. I'm glad to see it drying out just a little bit. Allergy report, not too bad out there. Tree pollen is at 0, so good news there. Low on grass. Yesterday grass was at 0, now it's at about 4. Medium on weed at 12, and then medium on mold at 11/130. So allergy report, not the best, but not the worst either. I've seen a lot worse with everything was heavy. All right, let's take a few minutes and to look at some of the sky cams across the area. This one right here at our 12 News studio on our Roofy 911 Live Sky Cam network. This one brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Let me get out of the way. It's always better to see the sky cams without me standing in the middle of it looking like a big giant standing over Beaumont there. But we actually had some fog out there this morning in some places, especially around places like Orange, where we had a little bit of some fog to deal with, say around, say between 6, 7, even towards 8 o'clock. We had some fog out there. That is lifted off, and you can see we do have a few clouds, but that's about it. Some blue skies, lots of sunshine, so looks like a lot better day today across all of southeast Texas. Now still dealing with some low-level clouds up in Jasper, and that's why we have these sky cams at different locations, because in one location you could see sunny skies, another location you could be clouded over. Once again, had some fog up towards Jasper this morning. It's lifted, but it hasn't really broke up so much yet, but it will be breaking up a little bit later on this morning and give you guys a little bit of sunshine as well. This camera up in Jasper is provided by Provalis. Matter of fact, the camera is right on the Provalis building, which is right across from the Jasper County Courthouse, our Roofy 911 Live Sky Cam network. And no rain up in Jasper today. It looks like it'll be fairly dry there. We do have that slight chance of rain, but probably better chances of that down here around the triangle, and then we'll go over to the Horseman's Western Store. Now this is where we saw some pretty thick fog on our sky camera earlier this morning. Right now we're looking at just partly cloudy skies, or mostly cloudy skies with a little bit of blue, so there are seeing some sunshine there in Orange at the Horseman's Western Store. Currently we're showing numbers into the lower 80s already over in Orange, humidity at about 84%, and winds are out of the northeast at about 3 miles an hour. So winds are going to be light all day long. Humidity is back, so it's going to be muggy and warm, but at least it looks like it's going to be fairly dry. We'll see variable clouds today. That means some places we'll see partly cloudy skies. Other places, like we're seeing right now up in Jasper and over at in Orange, where it could be mostly cloudy. Once again, you can see the blue sky here over in Beaumont. So we got a little bit more sunshine here than other places around the triangle. This camera is from Packard-LaPrade, part of the Roofy 911 Live Sky Cam network. We're showing 74 in Beaumont, so it's a little bit cooler here Even though we do have some sunshine, you notice we have a little bit of a north wind, about 5 to 6 miles per hour. All right, let's take a look at some temperatures out there. Right now we're looking at generally lower 70s where we've had some fog earlier this morning, but orange started off warm. Orange was already in the 70s earlier, so they're at 86. 80 degrees in Port Arthur. We're about 75 here in Beaumont. Heading farther to the north, 73 right now in Jasper, 72 in Kirbyville, and Woodville's currently at 70. For some reason this hour we're not getting a temperature from Silsbee, but typically you're probably looking at some lower to middle 70s is there as well. Other places like Lake Charles is 80, DeQuincy 73, Houston into the lower 80s right now at about 82. Up towards Huntsville looks like 77, and Conroe currently showing a temperature about 78. So it's not too bad out there this morning if you're getting out, maybe doing some exercise or something like that. Generally, if you can get out before 10 o'clock, it's fairly comfortable. Now, once we get into June, of course, July and August, maybe not so much the case. And here's radar. I like to see this after the last couple of days we had. Nothing going on as far as radar is concerned. Everything is very quiet. We don't have any rain across the area. And like I said, if we see anything today, it'd be maybe a 20% chance of just a random shower popping up across the area. We're going to expand this out and we'll take a look and see what's going on across the state. It's actually pretty quiet across most of the state of Texas. We do have some showers and thunderstorms rumbling real close to the Red River Valley up there just north of Dallas, but those are kind of sliding off towards the east. Remember yesterday we were talking about this front that was stationary right across southeast Texas, and we had those disturbances riding along that front into the area. That's why we saw so much heavy rain. Well, that whole area was lifted north now. You can see that front's up in southern Arkansas, so that helps take away that rain chance, takes away that little train track for those disturbances to ride on. Now we do see a cold front that's back over parts of the Texas Panhandle. That's going to be marching off towards the south and east as we go through the next 24 hours and eventually move through southeast Texas here on Friday. With that, we will see an increase in rain, about a 40% chance of some scattered showers as we go through tomorrow. So it won't be as dry as today tomorrow. And then the weekend looks dry because behind that front we'll see some drier air move in. We'll see some comfortable mornings for Saturday and Sunday, and looking pretty good for your weekend. But we got to get that front through here first. Want to get out of the way because you can see quite a bit of rain still showing up though over places like Alabama into Georgia. They're getting some very heavy rainfall, kind of like what we saw yesterday. That's what they're seeing in places like Birmingham and Montgomery for this morning. Also some rain heading into the the Florida Panhandle for this morning. So it's pretty wet over the southeastern U.S. Let's expand this out, see what's going on around the country. And you can see East Coast pretty dry. Not much going on. A couple of showers upper New York State, maybe a few showers over there towards the tip of Long Island. That's about it. And then we have some rain moving through parts of Missouri this morning. Kansas seeing a few showers. Upper Midwest, not too busy, a couple of showers, maybe Minnesota there. And then once you get past really the Rocky Mountains, it's not much going on at all. Maybe a couple of showers up towards Seattle, but the West Coast has been pretty dry and there's not much going on. We don't really see a whole lot through the desert Southwest, California, Oregon, Washington, not seeing them a whole lot. Now, farther south, actually down into the Pacific Ocean, we have a tropical storm that has formed already. It's the first one of the season for the Pacific side, and that's Tropical Storm Alvin. It's expected to stay out there into the Pacific. We're going to try to give you an update on that tomorrow, but right now it's formed out in the Pacific. That's the first one for them. Hopefully we won't see anything for them here in southeast Texas for a while. Typically the peak of hurricane season comes right around the first couple of weeks of September, around September 10th or 11th. That's what they usually call the average peak of hurricane season, where we see the most activity. So we really don't see a whole lot June, July, and even the first part of August. It's really once we get into late August, September, and sometimes even lingering to the first part of October is when we stay pretty active during hurricane season. So right now there's nothing out there, and we hope to stay that way. Last year got to be a little active, but not a whole lot affecting most of the U.S. So our future cast as we go through this afternoon, can't rule out something maybe isolated as far as a shower, but generally just partly cloudy skies. Futurecast trying to show 90. I don't know if we're going to get to 90 for this afternoon, but we'll definitely be in the upper 80s, 86 to maybe 88 degrees as far as afternoon highs. Then we're going to back down into the say middle to upper 80s by 7 o'clock. As we head towards 10 o'clock, I'm expecting to see upper 70s, partly cloudy. And then overnight, we'll go mostly cloudy skies, and we'll see temperatures staying generally into the 70s. I don't think we're going to drop out of the 70s. If we see a 68, 69, that would be towards the lakes. Now, you notice by 7 o'clock, already starting to show some showers to our north and west. As we get into mid-morning or so, we could see a few of those come down into the lakes, maybe a few showers here and there as that front starts to push towards us. Doesn't look like that front's really going to come through until maybe late in the morning or to the afternoon. And like I said, with that, about a 40% coverage of some scattered showers. Not going to rain all day, and some folks won't see any rain tomorrow with the front passing through, but there'll be that opportunity for some showers out there as we go through, looks like your Friday afternoon. And then once that front gets out of here, moves down towards the Gulf, drier air means a nice weekend. I'll show you that here in just a second in our 7-day forecast. But let's take a look at our coastal marine forecast for today. South winds at 10 knots, seas around 2 to 3 feet. Next high tides at 3:03 this afternoon. Our low tides are earlier this morning. We'll see another one here coming up around the lunch hour. Our sunset tonight's at 8:11. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays. Water temperature in the lower 80s out there in the Gulf. So really not a bad day for the boat if you can get out. Not too bad of conditions out there with only that 2 to 3 feet as far as the tides are concerned. All right, today's forecast, we'll go variable clouds. I just showed you that on Skycam. Some places mostly cloudy, other places partly cloudy. We'll see those southeasterly winds anywhere between, say, about 3 to 8 in the lakes, and then generally 5 to 10 for most of the area. Temperatures, I've got anywhere from about 86 to about 88. We might see a little bit warmer than that towards the lakes. We'll have to wait and see. And then tonight, we'll kind of cloud over again. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe still a little bit of patchy fog here and there. And then we'll see temperatures dropping back down into the generally middle to lower 70s here around the triangle. Might see 74, 75 down towards the coast. And then farther inland, you get cooler off. You'll get to see cooler temperatures there. Temperatures right around 70 in Burkeville and Newton, and then we'll see around 71 through Woodville, Kirbyville, places like that. So it should be a nice start as we get into Friday. Now Friday, once again, there's that 40% chance of some scattered showers popping up. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at dry conditions there. So it should be nice, especially in the morning. We'll see upper 60s. And then as we head towards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll see about a 20% chance, maybe a couple of showers here and there. It shouldn't be a big deal as far as rain towards the middle of next week, but there could be some showers, and I don't think I can't cancel any outdoor plans or anything like that, but we could see maybe a random shower here or there. I want to show you the number once again that you can text and ask any questions. Write this down, 409-749-9302. You don't have to ask a question today, but have that number handy so that when we do these briefings or these quick streams at 10 o'clock every day, say, hey, I do have a question, and you can just message me at that number, and hopefully I can answer your question and let you know what's going on weather-wise for maybe the next 7 days, maybe this weekend, maybe early next week, something like that. And we can interact just a little bit on this stream, so that will help you out and help me out as well, let me know who's watching and what information they need. So 409-749-9302. Not getting any text today, but I'm not surprised. The weather's not too bad as we go through the next 7 days. Like I said, we'll see the quiet weather for